we ready? Okay. Hello Jennifer, this is Tom. Thank you for your order for the entertainment center. I know you received your coffee table and side tables already. The entertainment center is big and heavy, so I built it so it comes apart, disassembled. So now what I'm going to do is show you how to reassemble it. It's actually pretty simple if you do it in stages. So you start with a clean surface, and I would suggest putting a blanket or something down on top of that first, because you're going to put the top of the entertainment center down on that, and it's easily scratched, so you want to do that first. But I have a nice smooth surface here, so that'll work. You start with the top of the center, which is easy to tell because I've labeled it top. And then you put the front here, which I've labeled front. Put the front away from you. So I'm turning it like this. So this is the top. The front is facing towards you right now. And you can tell it's the top also because it's got 4 slots in it here, and it's got these pegs sticking up from there. The pegs are what are the dividers and the side panels are going to plug into. The entertainment center is made up of a top, a bottom, 2 dividers, 2 side panels, a back, and then the upright for the TV mount, which comes in last, and you'll see that. And then of course all the shelves. There's 6 shelves. Okay, so you start with the top facing down, like that, and you take the 2 dividers. Now the dividers, you can tell that they're dividers because they have this little screw on the bottom. Okay? So, and you notice these connectors here. These are called cam connectors. These are what actually connect to those little studs down there. You need a standard screwdriver, not a Phillips screwdriver, standard screwdriver, and you set it up so that these cam connectors are facing towards the center. And this just kind of slides right in there. See that? And then you just lock it, turn it, and just tight. It doesn't have to be super tight, just enough so it locks in, and you can tell you're in because when you move it, it doesn't come off. Okay, you do the same thing on the other side. Notice the cam connectors are facing each other towards the center. Okay? And we're going like that. And it locks. And you see that sticks out a little, that's okay. Right? It locks, it's in place. Notice you've got the 2 studs here up on top that have nuts on them. We're going to take those nuts off because those are actually going to connect them to the bottom of the case once we put that in. So you get these off right now and just kind of set them aside. Okay, next you take a side panel. It's all the side panels because they have this frame on them. Okay? There's only 2 of them. And again, they have these cam connectors. Okay, so now you notice there's this little triangle here. This is where the back panel mounts. So that's on the back. This is the front. So this one fits over here. It'll only fit one way. If you try to put it on the other side, it won't fit. Okay, so there we go. Put it in. And again, just tighten up these cam connectors. Right? Nothing to it. Alright, so now you would think you'd put the other side panel on, but you don't. You actually put the bottom on now. If you try to put the side panel on first, you won't be able to get the bottom panel on because if you notice there's a slot here that this bottom panel sits in, and if you have the other panel in place already, you won't be able to get it in there. Okay, the bottom has a front and a back. You see the slot here? The slot goes all the way out. That's the back. Where it comes up and stops, that's the front. So we're going to do it that way. Also, notice the little holes here? These are for those bolts that I put on, we took the nuts off of. Okay, so we're just going to set this on top. We're going to locate the bolts. That's the best way to do this. Okay. And there's one. And there's the other. There. And you see it just slapped right in. Now, before you tighten anything, you make sure that that fits in that slot. Now you take those washers and those bolts that we took off before, put them on top, and
washer first.
Yeah, washer goes first. Washer goes against the wood. And again, don't over tighten this. If you do, you're actually going to cause a little dent on the top. All right, so just finger tight is all you need. It's just enough to hold it in place. Okay, that's good. Now we can put the other side panel on. Okay, and this side panel, notice again, this is the little triangle for the back panel. Little slot here. We're going to put these in. Now this side panel is going to be a little tighter because we already got everything else set up. Okay, and okay, now at this point I use a rubber mallet to knock this. Don't use a regular hammer, you'll dent it, but it just goes like that. Okay, now the next thing to do is there are some nuts that go in here, some screws and nuts. They're special screws and nuts. They're called barrel screws and nuts.
Don't say that while you're walking away. What is it called?
I'm sorry. These are called barrel connectors. I'm sorry, barrel nuts and screws. They're special type. They're flat. They use an Allen wrench to connect. And this barrel fits in this hole right here. You see in the bottom here, there's a hole. So for each leg, there's one of these. And there's an Allen wrench, which I've included in your kit, so you don't have to have one of your own. And the trick here now is you're going to have to make sure that that screw goes in there. And you see it's not going in, which means that that front panel is forward a bit. So we need to kind of knock it back. And see again, if you were to try that with a hammer, you would really dent this thing really badly. Okay. And it'll come to a point where it'll just slide in, and that's it. And then you turn it, and you'll feel the barrel nut will connect. It should just very easily connect. It's very, very light. See, I can finger turn it once I've started it. Okay. And that should be tight. Now, the trick here with all of this stuff is don't over tighten, just tighten good enough, and that's it. Okay, now the same thing on this side in the back. Put the barrel in, put the screw in. This one should already fit because we've already fit that side. And if you notice, let me show you something on this barrel nut. See, it's got a little slot for a screw. So that has to face the front. You see the hole of the screw fits in the same direction as that slot. So when you put it in the hole here, you can get a picture. You put it in the hole, the slot faces forward. And if you don't have it forward, it won't work. But what you can do is just take a little screwdriver and move it in the right place. It's very simple. Like I say, once you've got it right, it will just really smoothly connect. And it's really tight for some reason. There we go. And there it goes. And you can hear that tightening up. See, and that, if you look at this gap here, that gap should close up. Okay, that means you're as tight as you're going to get. Don't tighten any more now. You do the same thing on the other side. And again, we're probably going to have to, we're going to have to take the hammer, the mallet, and knock this so that it goes in. Put the barrel in. And with the Allen wrench, tighten her up. See how it's coming together here? Perfect. And don't worry about that sticking up a little bit. This is on the bottom. Nobody sees anything here. Okay, same thing on this side. Again, it should already be in the right place because we hammered it from the other side. Doesn't take much. Okay. All right. That's the major construction. It's all done. Now, at this point, this is really heavy. Now, you can lift it up. What I would do is tip it on its face like this now. Okay? So now this is the back. Now,
Okay.
You back?
Yes.
Okay. So notice the back panel. It has, if you look at it from front and back, it looks pretty much the same. So I labeled it here outside. And this just fits right in this space here really nicely. Muscle it in just a little bit. There. The back panel serves two functions. Obviously it closes off the back, but it also kind of makes this a lot more rigid. So that's good. Now there are screws that hold the back panel in place. There's 4 of them. And if you notice, there's simple holes. They'll just go right in. Doesn't need a lot of tension. You're not trying to do anything except just kind of hold it in place here.
Okay.
All right, so now I've got all 4 screws in. So now really the whole thing is together. Notice the holes here, these are for cables. And you notice here this one's offset because that's where the pole goes for the TV, which is the next thing we're going to do. Now this is your TV stand. I'll hold it up here like this so you can get it in. This is where the TV will mount, and this is at the floor. This is to give it some strength and stability. And you notice this has a series of 8 slotted holes, and this piece here is where the TV mounts, so this can be moved up and down. It's a very simple little thumb screw arrangement. I won't show how to mount the TV on. That's in a box, and there's instructions with that. But this part goes in here. If you notice, this has slots here, and the slots match the top and the bottom panels. So all you have to do, and this is easiest to do when you're in this position, is you just find those threaded holes and get that in there, and then just screw that in. Okay, there's nothing else you need to do. That's it. So your entertainment center is now assembled. So the only thing left to do is to stand it up. Alright, so here's your entertainment center. It's all ready to go. All you have to do now is mount your TV and attach your shelves. There's 3 compartments for your shelves. There's 2 shelves for each compartment, and they're fitted to the compartments. And if you see here, there's an R, 2 R's here. These are for the right compartment. There are 2 that have nothing on them. Those are for the middle. And there are 2 that have L's on them. Guess what those are for? Okay. And you've got 24 of these L-shaped shelf brackets. I won't put them all in, but I'll put in a couple and you'll see. They fit in here. They're very nice and snug. Matter of fact, you know, some of these might have a little shellac in them, and so you might have to, the first time you use them, you might have to get a little pair of pliers to help push them in. They're very, very snug. In fact, I'll go up one. Yeah. Let's go down here. I've already done this one. Okay. There are the same number of holes on all of these, so you can just use, you can just count to get to the right place. 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can't see it. There it is. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I've got 4 brackets in, and the shelf really just sits right in there. It should be very nice and snug if you've got, put them in the right place, which it looks like I didn't. No, I didn't. I put one too high. And see, they're very nice and tight. It's easier, I don't have a pair of pliers on me right now. It's easier if you have a pair of pliers to push these in the first time, because you're pushing through the finish that's on there too. Let's see if that's good enough. Okay, so there you go. So there's 6 of them, they all work the
I
same.
mentioned the finished part is to the front.
Right. These, the shelves, the dividers, and the side panels are made of oak quarter sawn oak plywood, which means that the sides and the back have a plywood edge on them. So the front is edged with actual oak. So you want to make sure, obviously, that the front, that edged part is to the front. And the grain goes left to right on all of the shelves. That's it. That's your whole entertainment center. All you have to do is mount the TV.
No, just, there you go.
There's your entertainment center. All you have to do is mount your TV, put your equipment in there, run your wires, and have fun. It is very sturdy. Even though this is a disassemblable item, a knockdown piece of furniture, which usually is not all that sturdy, this is damn sturdy. This is not going to go anywhere. This is quarter sawn oak on the top, quarter sawn oak on the bottom, solid oak, solid good Wisconsin oak. Thank you for your order. Have fun.